Godspeed to the Speedy Tribe. How we doing out there, man? Your boy's back with another video, man. And I just want to explain something, man. The reason why you suppress your thoughts and your feelings and you can't express yourself verbally, 9 times out of 10, man, you were brought up in a household, right, where you've been groomed to have an aloof mindset, stemming from the fact that your parents were either one, an intimidator, or two, the interrogator. So what I mean by this is that we have trauma-based and triggers that trigger us to close ourselves off when we have certain people asking us questions and have certain authoritative figures in our life because of the fact that our parents were like that. So which it does ultimately to us, it makes us become closed off because it's a trigger from the past to the present that you can't communicate and don't want to express yourself like you really want to, based on the fact that you've been traumatized from those two underlying characteristics stemming from your parents. Real talk. Now, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people, right, that have this problem, but they don't really understand consciously that it is stemming from the fact that they couldn't do anything as a child. They couldn't express themselves. Their voice or their opinion goes unheard and unseen, too, in the household, stemming from the parents having that authoritative mindset. Now, parents have this preconceived notion that they've known us all their life, right? We've known our parents all our lives, and they didn't know us all their lives. So they have that authoritative figure where that authoritative mindset, preconceived notion that we don't have to listen to you. They don't have to listen to us as much only because they birthed us. And that's not cool, only because of the simple fact that although you did birth us and everything, we have our own life to live, just like you did before we even were born. So the people who birthed you, you got to actually start communicating with them on how to let you be free and fly and spread your wings. Because listen, you do not want to be a bird in a tree that's fully grown, has the wings big enough and strong enough to fly anywhere they want in life, but they're holding themselves back and they're letting their parents hold themselves back because of the fact that they've been traumatized and they get submerged inside of the past, right? And their parents' way of thinking and being, that they become that. And then they shun themselves and they cut themselves off and they cut blessings off and they can't get to newer heights in life because they never were taught and never stepped outside the comfort zone in order to upheave that characteristic of themselves, man. I remember when I was a kid, I never knew how to speak the way I knew how to speak now because of the fact that I was incompetent. No, not that I was incompetent. I just never tapped in and never voiced my opinion because I was always closed up. I was like a shy, soft-spoken child turned into this now. But you see, I was that because of the fact that my parents had this intimidating, interrogative mindset or way of being to them, which ultimately made me closed off. And I didn't know how to deal with that until I got older, until I became a football player, where it was a space of time where I was able to open up myself and become more vocal. And that ultimately helped me become more vocal and become the leader that I am today for the motivational community, man, you know. And I just want to put that out in the air because I know a lot of people still deal with that until this day, man. Like, I know you probably 25, 30, dealing with communication issues because of the fact that you never dealt with them growing up, stemming from the fact that your parents never allowed you to communicate because you always just had to listen to them and shut the fuck up. And that's very unfair. And we all, and whoever watching this, know that is very unfair. So what you got to start doing is you got to start communicating with your parents more thoroughly on what you want. You got to be very affirmative. You got to take affirmative action. You have to affirm what you're doing, what you want. Because if you don't say anything with conviction to make them believe that you have your own power under you, they're going to always impose their will on you. So impose your will so they won't impose their will on you. All right? Godspeed.